Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. This is Martin Wong, your host, and we have come above the 100th episode, isn't it? Time has passed us by, and I do hope some of our teaching in SMARTRobie and using the apps have definitely helped you, and do give us a feedback whether it have helped you or not. And most important, we really want to see you able to make good returns from the market. And despite of what we have, there's opportunity in the KLSE, opportunity in the US and SGX. That's always been our real concern to all our members and the public in here. How well and how have you fared? Do reach out to us. There's a number below there, and let us know how you have done so far and not, and how we can help you in many ways. And also do feedback to our Google apps as well, to our channel in here, in many ways how we can improve our show. Definitely this is not possible without all your support and all your generous sharing with us in here. Now let's take a look at what we have after last Saturday. That's right, we did do the masterclass preview, and we did talk about market bottoming. I think those of you who came for the longer session that we have on Saturday, and we started on Wednesday, that's right, there was a part 1, then we have on Saturday was part 2, and then we talk more about the market bottoming. So right now you would have known and probably talk about what we did last Saturday about the KLCI, when it is likely to move up higher despite the market going down, and my opinion, and also looking at the volume spread analysis, the price and action in here when the market is likely to come back. So we did talk about all those in the coming months, so you already know those answers. If you have missed that, do join us for our next session, and why not join us for our masterclass? Then we're really definitely going to dwell in more on this way. But do take note, next week we will likely to have no breakfast show, because of the main masterclass that we'll be doing right now. Now let's take a look at what we have this morning in our news deadline, and we are having a new refresh look, and this is definitely what we are doing right now. So for every Monday, we'll be looking at some stock trade idea, and definitely featuring the Pentagon Guider for those who are busy 9 to 5 and longer term beginner trader. That's what we'll do in here. But let's look at the news roundup that we have for you in here. Now this morning, the analysts and a lot of the remisiers in here are very cautious should the market has fallen. But let's take a look at what we have this morning in here. Now if you look back, the last update we have just in front of my chart here, let me just bring this up. That's right, you could see we are at 1494. Let's look at the bigger chart over this side here. We are still pretty much stuck below the 1500 level in here. You can see here, let me just show you the chart here. All right, and since the market broke through the red pentagon on the end of June in here, there is no uptrend, and Pentagon Guider has been right. Also take a look at the 3 sign of weakness, UT, and these are very, very strong. No doubt this morning in here, we could see market, of course, if you ask me, just wait for the green pentagon to come out. So that's all you need to check every day, and I'll continue to share this also with your friends. So let's look at some of the big decliner. This morning, the Kobe has gone up significantly a lot more to $4.40. Dufu have came down $2.60. UWC, and also I believe Inari too, because it has gone through a fair bit of running up. Of course, the big elephant in the house is Jinning Tech, continue to hit up to $25 from $4 in here, despite, if I'm not mistaken, registering negative earnings so far in here. All right, perhaps one day we'll take a look at that one. But DNEX is on the move in here this morning with the highest active volume, and such you see here, market is trading below 1500 in here. Now, one of the key things which is likely to happen this Friday is the release of our GDP for the second quarter 2021, and I think many analysts are talking around 4 to 5% in here. That is within the expectation that we've seen so far, right? So anything less than 4 would cause this market to go further down. My take is that market will likely to go further before going back higher. And again, I have talked about all this on last Saturday. So those of you who join me, great, you have benefited from that in here. Thank you also for those of you who came in this morning and shared this video in your timeline. Let's move on to our next news that we have. And the next news is looking at the KL Plantation Index. That's right. The KL Plantation Index has been one of the biggest complaints to many traders that I've talked to, and also some of the institutional people in here, is the disparity between what we see on CPO prices and also on plantation stock. Now, this is a really good comment from one of the long-time investment analysts talking about, why plantation hasn't moved. But if you check on the Pentagon for the plantation sector, it already turned green, Pentagon. I tell you first. So some of our members already know about this because using the Trade VSA Pro dashboard. All right. So they are taking and looking to, of course, you can also check on the hot sectors in there and check out. Of course, this is the one I'm talking about. Just go into the hot sectors and you can see plantation is not in here. No problem. You can just still type it in here. PLANT. Okay. Plantation. Hit plant, and you can see all the plantation stocks. Now, of course, this is one of the features of the Trade VSA Pro dashboard, which is not available on the SMARTRobie in here. Some of these stocks are beginning to make upwards. So this article talk about why probably two reasons, main reason about why the plantation sectors and some of the stocks have done so well. Definitely one of them has been the dragged down by Genting Plantation, which is the big heavyweight, and also the Genting Plantation and IOI is also down, KLK is also down, and also my opinion, which pretty much similar to the analysts in here, is the ESG. The continued bad news by environmentalists saying that all our palm oil are burning and not what we call environmental friendly. We are deforestation, the orangutan, and also mistreatment, lack of labors. But my personal take is because partly is the bullish, bearish sentiment that we continue to see in the KLCI. What do you think? Why our plantation sector hasn't made that kind of move? Now, no doubt the prices that you see on CPO prices continue to be around 4,400, and they are still focusing above 4,000 for the next couple of months in here. So that would tie into slightly, maybe just before that, a windfall profit for many of these plantation in here. But why hasn't that reflected? I mean, if you look at some of these plantation sectors, we can see where they are. You can see Batu Kawan is the only one that is bullish in here. Let's hit 1899. Okay, but let's try that again. We're just going to use 1899. Use this one here. All right, that you can see. Let's look at the chart and switching to a wider chart here. You could see, yes, Batu Kawan is just one of those stocks that is moving upwards. Right, let's take a look at another one, which is Ta'an or THS. Okay, THS, which is another plantation stocks inside here. But what I'm trying to do is trying to find some good sectors that is continue to move up because of the overall THS. Yeah, THS did try to hit up, but came back not ready to move up high. So be picky, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the plantation sector and go through what I just did over here on just type plant, and you're able to pick up some of the things that we talk about in here. All right, so that is some of the ideas with regards to the news that we have in here. So I hope that will satisfy for some of you who are always looking for something, some action in here. All right, let's move on to our next story. So our next story is regards to the technology, semiconductors equipment in here is MI Technovation. Now MI Technovation has since moved up a lot. Just type in MI here and you will probably see MI. That's right, hit that one. And okay, so I'm going to switch to a wider chart here. So you can see MI Technovation. Let's look at the chart wise and make this. Okay, so hit this chart So all in all, you could see the chart really has sort of shot up a fair bit from here. You can't see very clearly on my chart, but use your SMARTRobie, and a lot of the tech stocks continue to go up. So my take is, take a little bit of WYSD. What you should do, take some a precaution in here as the good news. Generally, you see some distribution at the top in here, but analysts are giving it a very good buy rating, I suppose, and also a target price of 578. Let's look a look where the market is right now for stock price MI, and you could see it is 428. So with the 475 and the 428, some of you may say there's a bit more room, but be careful of good news like what you see inside there. So definitely it's time to take some partial profit if you like to, looking at the technical setup in here. But the news talk about the semiconductors, semiconductors and material business unit in here, how they're venturing into other areas and begin to look into it as the 5G has grown in here and stronger sales in the coming quarter for 2021 in here. So all points to good news, and be careful of good news. All right, let's take a look at our next story. Now, next story is on, again, another 5G player, semiconductor player, is Inari. Now, Inari Earnings has shot up on higher sales due to the 5G in here. Net profit is up 145% to 88 million the first 3 months, and revenue has jumped to 361 million. So let's type in Inari in here. All right, and you can see Inari stock chart, stock comment here, hit that one. Switching to a wider chart, you can see this is again kind of very similar on the run that you see. All semiconductors continue to do so well, and this is again very important if you are what we call a sector rotational player. Okay, if that is a very technical term, just try to bear with me. Basically, you're moving the horses to where the sectors is moving. Of course, those of you who are generally from the rubber glove, who still have your money stuck there, couldn't move it, and you will see your money continue to fall lower and lower. But I do think at one point of time, the rubber glove will continue to go up. But right now, this sector is hot. It's definitely technology. I think it's also important for many of those of you who are listening. If you look at this chart in here, you could see there is really a really nice pattern in here. Market pullback on low volume, pull up low volume, and now try to make it in here. And perhaps this morning already we've seen a bit of profit taking because of good news. As I said before, be careful of good news. All right, let's go on to our next story. So our next story is on the US side. That's right. Now, US continue to make a new high in here, and let's switch over to S&P 500. Okay, S&P 500 to Robie chart here, and you could see, okay, what we have. Okay, let me just, it seems to be my mouse is, yep, that's right. Okay, there you go. So let's look at the S&P 500. And the S&P 500 still are making new high, as you can see in here. Volume has tapered off a bit, and last Friday we'd seen most active was AMD, just down $2 in here. Apple is continuing to be up there. Ford, NIO, one of those electric cars. SVB is a big gainer in here, and Goldman Sachs has done pretty well because of the banking stock continue to move up. Paycom is up to 2% in here. The big decliners are the chip in here. Amazon just went through slightly, Melly, and also Booking.com. All right, so these are the, but all in all, US market continue to be very, very strong, but usually there is a minor correction. Now, side note here in here, I do feel that there is still a lot of opportunity, and this is through one of the analysts in Barron saying that, like it or not, despite what you see, there is a potential of a longer term longer term growth for the S&P 500. This is because due to the invisible combination of productivity, inventory build and other factors should push the GDP growth to 3.5%, and that is why S&P 500 has a lot more room to go, even to 6,000. That's right. Right now, if you look at S&P 500, where we were talking now, is only 4,431. Okay, and if you look at the S&P 500 chart here, you could see, let me just pinch it up in here, right, 4450. Okay, that's the one we're talking about. But this traded in here 6,000. So this is the first time we'll mention it. As the market continue to move higher, I will always try to prompt my reader and user, as well as our member in here, to always flow with the trend. All right, flow with the trend. Remember, we talked about bottom fishing last Saturday in here. This one is flow with the trend, and those are pretty important strategy that you use, so you're able to follow the market in here. Just don't do buta blind a bit in here. Now let's also look into the another segment of this news is Berkshire Hathaway B shares. Now, Berkshire Hathaway B shares is owned by Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the value investor, and top 5 or between top 5 or top 10 in the world according to Phoebe. And his stocks started to do pretty nice. As I said before, this is Berkshire Hathaway B shares. You can see on the technical side here. Let me just switch to a wider chart here, right? And you can see we have a very nice support here. You could see right at the 200, just short of 280 in here, and the market breakout in here. Very nice, like what we call the rocket ship, remember on last Friday? We liked a bit of fun, isn't it, right? So here we can see that the market are likely to test the 290 mark in here, and the Berkshire Hathaway report of a strong earning was due to the manufacturing and also share buyback. In my opinion, the share buyback is a very strong component of Berkshire Hathaway because it has a lot of cash. It doesn't pay dividends, so what they do is to buy back that share, and many times people find their so-called asset are actually appreciated due to the company share buyback in here. So look for greater trends, as I said before, S&P 500, Berkshire Hathaway B shares for those value investor who is interested in this in here. All right, let's move on to the Singapore side, right? And for those of you who are interested in the dividend yield stock in here, definitely the story talks about OCBC and DBS Bank, UOB Bank. Beacon is one of the biggest heavyweight in the STI, Singapore Straits Time Index, being a 44% in here. So when those banks are doing well, you could see. Let's take a look at some of the banks in here. SGX. Switch over here to Robie chart, and you can see, just type in DBS, okay, D05 in here. All right, and you can see, let's start look at stock chart, stock comment in here, just to get the kind of gauge that we can see. And you can see, right, just now I was talking about Goldman Sachs, isn't it, right? Now, like it or not, a lot of the banking stocks usually take a following from the US market. Now, we saw early on already for the Malaysian technology stock, the semiconductor follow the Apple, the AMD, right? But the bank stock in Malaysia is not, because banking stocks are usually owned by institutional in here, and like it or not, that has some problem in here. If you look at Public Bank is actually breaking underwater. Public Bank is going to become a submarine soon. It's going to start to dive. So take note now. Look at the charts for that one in here. Okay, so you can look at the DBS banks are doing well, but the Malaysian banks are not doing well. So is this a cause for concern for the Malaysian stock? Again, going back to your strategy, are you a long-term or a short-term? But many of you tend to feel FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of stock pricing going down lower and lower. Then you should check out our seasonal monthly return, which we have it in our pro dashboard, and check out how Public Bank has fared. Then you would know what we say in here. A lot of time we use evidence-based investing or evidence-based trading in here to know where the market is heading, because at the end of whatever period you're looking at, we don't want our members or the public, then they say that, just like the vaccination that we are seeing a lot in US, right? A lot of people don't want to take vaccine, but when kena, they say they regret. So we don't want that to happen. Always look back to your evidence. Always look back to your portfolio. Are they performing or not? If they are not performing, what are the reasons, and should you take evasive action or not. So in the case of this Singapore stocks, you can see these are dividend stocks example in here. Another way to look at it also is to go to SGX and go on to what we call the hot sectors. Okay, the hot sectors in here, definitely you can see financial number 3. Just type here number 3 here, and you can see finance, and a lot of these you can see a lot of green, as you can see, right? More green. Malaysia, you type finance, maybe just check it out yourself, you'll see maybe not so much compared to Singapore in here. But having said that, there's one counter which I think are doing pretty well, is EB5, which is First Resources. Okay, and that is actually a play on CPO prices. Singapore CPO prices started to move, but Malaysia one tak jalan. Okay, let's take a look at EB5. Okay, EB5. So EB5 is First Resources. So let me just show you here. So you can see EB5 First Resources started to move up in here, and I think at one point our plantation stock will start to move up. Do you agree with me or not? If you agree, type it in there. Check out all the plantation stocks. Okay, so this fella EB5 First Resources is commodity food based kind of thing, started to move up in here, and you can see this is a nice green pentagon, a lot of degree freedom to swing up. So you look from this chart here where we came up from, the yellow trend zone in here, the green pentagon was a beautiful markup. You got a spring in here, and then you got low volume in here, just like what we talk about, right? The end of what we call bottom fishing, perhaps. Are we on this part? So EB5 is something that's good. Check it out, right? And let me know what you think of it in here. Just another idea to share with you in here, right? And what do you think of the plantation sector in here, right? Do let me know. Pencil in your comments, all right? And let me know what you think about this plantation sector that we have so far in here. All right. Now let's move on to our next story. So our next story is going to be on the Pentagon Guider trading idea, the leaderboard, that some of the ideas we talked about in the past. Previously, on the just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were talking about SL West on the 26th, KSM 26, ATA just last week has gone up about 11% in here, and so JF Tech, which is earlier mentioned on the 5th of July, has gone up 14%. So right now we are at the right sector at the right time, and that's why you're seeing it. Sometimes things don't go up, but generally, hopefully, we are Pentagon Guider were able to pick up some of those stocks that is algorithm driven that way. So that will definitely benefit for you in there. All right, great. Now let's look at the lesson learned that we have last week on ATAIMS last week. Okay, let's bring up the chart that we have here, and let me just make it a bit smaller so you can see it here. So we have ATAIMS. Now if you don't have the trading view that we have in here, maybe it's time to upgrade your system, right? And from the SMARTRobie that you've seen, now SMARTRobie only show 3 months, all right, but this one you can go back to weekly chart, daily chart, and it's also very interactive. Another bonus, right? Now last week on the 2nd of August was here, so we can switch to a 1 hour. Remember we did this about 10, 11 o'clock, about same time right now in here. So you can see here just at this one is 11 o'clock and start to move up. So if you just take this, okay, and you draw it up to here, okay, that's how you get the 13%. All right, a nice 13% movement in here. The other stocks, again, KIP is REITs driven, it's commercial driven, not the kind of very popular stocks. So KIP REITs did not have the similar kind of thing. So that's why it's important to select the sectors in here. Now let's take a look at the daily chart here. All right, KIP, we pick it up on also on the 2nd of August. You can see pretty much unchanged, depending if you take it somewhere around the high side here and you pull it down, okay, we are only minus 1% return. Let's look at some of the other stocks. SL West, okay. Now SL West, we pick it up on the 26th of July, okay, which is around here. So let's say somewhere around here, we pick it up, 11 o'clock. You can, of course, you can switch it to 11 here, and we just pull it up to this level, and that's how we get our 14% in here. It did hit the high of, depending where you pick it up. If you go straight to hourly chart, okay, we came from 11 o'clock around the 26 will be here. Yeah, this around this level in here, you pull it up, right? So that's how we get the rates that we have. Okay, so this one in here, so we'll make a short amendment here. Now let's look at KSP. Okay, KSP was 26th of July. Again, switching back to a daily chart. Now you can see how simple to use the trading view in here, right? With the green Pentagon in here, and then there's a nice trend zone market started to move up in here. One of the best tools in the round, in my opinion. So you can see KSM is also 26, which is here, and you can pull this up higher, because if you have put in a higher profit target in here, KSSM is about 22% over there. All right, and right now it is still trending in the up. GFTech very, very similar too. All right, so let's look at some of the trade idea that we have. We're going to talk about today in here is revenue and D next. These are the two things. So what I'll do going to be revenue is we're going to build a sort of a plan. Okay, let's look at revenue in here. So one of the things that we want to do is actually to snapshot this. Okay, what we have. Okay, we snapshot this one here. All right, so I'm going to bring up and sort of, you know, put this into perspective. Okay, put this into perspective how we want to do our discussion next week. Okay, so to put it in here, you can see that's the nice one here. So weekly direction, let's talk about it. Okay, what is the weekly direction? Okay, let's bring in the weekly direction here. Weekly direction, okay, you can put it here. Okay, weekly revenue has not turned green Pentagon yet. Okay, then you can say that daily Pentagon turn on, what day is this? Okay, and we'll check ourselves first. What day was our Pentagon turn? And switching to back to a daily chart here, and you can see that was on the 5th of August. So okay, 5th of August. Okay, indicator, okay, green Pentagon. What are the important price level? Okay, what are the important price level in here? Okay, let's take a look. So I'm just going to do some marking in here, okay? Important price level, which is usually looking at the high and low, okay? Looking at the high and the low. So let's mark it in here. So this will be our first one and our second one, important price level. So this will be A, and B, okay? A, and B. And so we type it in there, important price level. So we just make it very simple for you. A and B price level here. Okay. And what are the dates? Okay, let's go back. What are the dates? There's one here on 18th of June. Okay, we'll write that down. 18 June. And the next one will be, we don't take too far back now, we just take this one, 26th of April. Okay, 26th of April. Okay, 26th of April for those two there. All right, and why market can move higher? Why market can move higher? Because we have volume coming in. Okay, this is C. Okay, C. Okay, I'll just park here. Okay, so what I do is not like that. Okay. Okay, then we turn on. Okay, we have C here. So let me just write here. This is the C. Okay, so this is a C. Okay, let's look at the last support resistance. This will be the D. Okay, this will be D. Okay, so let me just, later on I will type it in. Okay, later we type it in. And that will be the trading plan. So last support is D level. Okay, the last high resistance. Okay, let's look at the last high resistance in here. Okay, let me just try to move this a bit more. Okay. 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 Okay, let me just try to move this thing a bit more. I think it was like this. Yep. Yep, the high is above, and it's just a matter of adjusting to this. Just bear with me for shortly. Yep. Let's try this one more time. Okay. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Because I need to get it right, because I'm going to take a snapshot. Then next week we have the chance, we're going to come back and review this. Okay, so we can see this as the level. We got volume coming in here. This is the C level, that's a volume, right? This is a C, is a volume coming in here. So let me just make some amendment here and erase that. Okay, we erase that. Okay, that's a C, and erase that. Okay. Okay, so we have C, we got volume coming in, and then we have D, is this one here, right? And the O high will be B, B and A, okay? Why we, okay, all right, so that's done. And what I do is I'm going to take a snapshot of this in here, okay? And once you have it here, and we just bring this up slowly, okay? So we just put another one, then you can see. So this one, I just want to make it a bit smaller so you can see it here. And then we put this one. All right, that's where you got it. Okay, so now we have it in here. So we have D level, high resistance should be B and A. Okay, A or B level. Okay, so the high resistance could be the A or B level. And if you look back trending, what is the likely trending period that we will see for revenue? Last round we have is only about 1 month. So give and take, you might want to see the longer trending in here. So we are talking about this period here. Okay, this period in here could be 1 or 2 months, depending on how you see and read. So that's why it's important to understand the knowledge that you have. And this is one of the reasons why we do what we do in our masterclass. And hopefully you will get that kind of knowledge that is needed in here. All right. So this is the snapshot that we have in here. Right, and of course we eventually want to make this available to our members, so how they can see this. So this is one of the reasons why we're starting to archive this. And let me just save this first, right, and put it somewhere where all of you can be able to access this and also learn this. So this would be follow, okay, the trend zone. Okay, follow the trend zone. Okay, so we archive this in here. Right. Okay, great. So we have done the simple plan for our beginners, so you know where the support and resistance. And let's take a look also for the next stock is DNext. Okay, the DNext is also came out on the Pentagon. All right, a very nice one in here. You can see very similar long range kind of thing. The last round it's been congesting for a while. You got a double bottom in here. Again, you notice set up very similar to revenue in here. Right, take a note of this too, trade idea, and next week we'll come back whether it will do as well what we've seen ATAIMS, which is up over 10%. But remember, not all things move up, and right now, as I said before, the picture that has been right now in the KLSE continue to be very bearish. These are some of those stocks which I feel are outlier. They are moving against how well the stock market is doing. Okay, and of course, if you look back to our past trading portfolio, last year was a very good year. We are still up 106% in here. And so far from January to July, we are just short of 10% compared to KLCI, which is about 7% in here. And that's what we continue to do well for our fixed rule trading portfolio using SMARTRobie in here. Now, do check out some of our paid program. That's the one we'll be doing next, right, which is our 3-day masterclass. We still have a few seats left, and we are talking about also the KLCI and also the US market. So don't miss out for the next major move. I always notice many people like to just sit and don't do anything. When the market go higher, then they do something. And I find that this is definitely very unskillful. If you have been following me for some time, you will know some of the message and all the information that we share for you is to make sure you take action when the market has gone higher, just like what we've seen on the sector rotation in KLSE and also on S&P 500 in here. All right, and not to forget, on Wednesday night, another special talk, the free falling market, the China and Hong Kong market. So we were talking about those in here on Wednesday 9:30. So make sure you join me and find out more whether the Chinese market and the Hong Kong market is an opportunity, or would we see more a sell-off in here. That will be on Wednesday night. All right, now we'll turn our attention now to your stock review, those of you in here, and for those of you who have given us your feedback, our top fans, and also our masterclass members in here. Definitely, if you have not done so, do go over to Google Play Store and also Play Store, and please state your profession. If you're from the public, if you're masterclass, just state me, and kind of stocks you want me to review. I'm happy to do right now in here if you have some of those you want to see. So I hope you like this new refreshing format that we have done. So we actually draw those charts for you in here, and it's important to get this trading view so you can enjoy it much better in here. All right. Okay, we got Genting. Johnny want me to look at Genting. Now Johnny, again, before I do that, please state your profession, whether you are masterclass member or public, and then I'll be happy to look into your stock review. All right, I need you to do that for me if you can. Volcano, why SMARTRobie return, why doesn't return result? Oh, we will check on that one too. Okay, let me just take a look. All right, we will definitely look into that. I'll get my technical guys to look into that. It's a very new stock, to be frank with you. All right, that we can. All right, any other stocks we want to look at? If you're not, we just look at. We'll look at here, Volcano. Now, usually new stocks you can see in here. This is a green Pentagon in here. Okay, we have masterclass, Kranjit. JF Tech. Okay, let's look at JF Tech. JF Tech, as I said before, continue to be good. Go for it, run it. If you don't have it, wait for the pullback, perhaps at the old high, running on pullback, and then you really want to go in. Okay. Okay, let's go on to the next stock. Those of you who have. Okay, CSC Steel. Okay, CSC Steel. Now, CSC Steel, like it or not, it tried to break out, but remember, this is something that we talked about last week, last Saturday, the bottom fishing in here. Okay, trend is not ready to go higher. You can see you still got a double support breaking, but I don't think it's going to break lower back in here. Still currently is not the right trend. It did try to pick up, but I think a few more rounds of this try to poke its head up. Eventually it will break, but that could be sometime in September or October. But right now this trend, it's just going to hang on sideways. If it doesn't break through the ATR stop loss, just turn up the ATR and you'll be fine, I think. That's right, the ATR stop loss in here. But it's not going to be something like that. But again, this is not bad. I think my money now is on CPO. Right? My money now is on CPO. Okay. Okay, any more stocks? You just let me know. Okay. Okay. I see. So we will definitely. All right. Any more stocks? Just let me know. On the. Okay. Yes, we have a few more. JHM. We got James in here. Your new MC member. Okay, we got Mayfen. Are you a member? Just let me know. Right. Okay, we got Lai here. We'll do Lai. Let me know. JHM. Yeah, JHM. Now, just take note that JHM has hit a couple of resistance in here, so the market is likely going to come back down, retest back. And if you have, eventually we're going to give you this too, which is the trend line plot charter. Okay. The trend line plot charter, you could see, right? You got a bottom base support will be around here. All right. So if we hit $2.24, that's the ringing bell. Okay. So we are still testing this one in here. Eventually we'll release this for the member too. All right. There's a lot of indicators that we are building, and we want to reinforce the analytic tools that we have in here. All right. We got Yip here. Masterclass. Okay. We have sure. Mayfen and Air Asia. Okay. Let's look at Air Asia. Air Asia, you can see right now, no doubt we have green Pentagon here at the base support, but overall the trend, you can see the trend plotter is still trending downwards in here. It's a bit early, as I said before in here. We just need to be a bit careful. It can break out, right? But you got two overhead resistance, so it's not going to shoot straight up in here. I think it's also reacting to the news this morning in here about the fintech. They got some money from SK Group, which is the South Korean telecom group, and they want to go into the big pay, big money, the credit card kind of thing. So this one is yet to be seen. How this market in here. We want to see just like what we saw for DNEX and revenue, right? You have a nice clean kind of accumulation. Here got a lot of resistance taking. So anytime it comes up in here, you're going to see that again. All right. Okay, Care Plus. So Care Plus again went through what we did. This is where it broke through this level here. So right now it went straight up, hit this resistance here, and then break back to this support in here. Means it will try to go up, but just so much distribution in here. It will do another round. I think eventually if it doesn't break through the ATR stop loss, which is down here somewhere, right? But definitely breaking this level 160, I'll be very, very careful. My first alert. Okay, and this stock just not ready to go higher. You can see volumes are it's going back to reaccumulation again. Okay, Lim, let me know your profession, and if you're a masterclass member, right, then we'll review QES. That's right. Now QES, nice one in here. Green Pentagon breaking up. You got double top here, so you can see the trend still pointing sideways. But what we have seen, the breakout of this trend here, that's a very good thing, right? And you got Green Pentagon on the top there, so looking good. Okay, DNO is still going up. Okay, so make sure DNO for full. Yeah, you can see in here you got red Pentagon, so just be careful. All right, be careful. You have red Pentagon in here. Market will pull back, allow a little bit of pullback if you want to run it in here. At one point, eventually this market will turn. Just if you have not taken profit, do take some profit first. Okay, if not, you can see this is why we have the trend plotter in here to make sure you continue to push up your stock. This thing can turn one. Be careful. All right, we got Jessica retired. Yeah, we talked about ATAIMS already. Abu, let me know your profession. We got MC members. Philip. Now, for those of you who are retired and so forth in here, this is an opportunity this weekend. Join us for our masterclass course, and you will be a privileged member, just like many of our in here. So do join us, please. Join us in here. Foundpack, again, similar story to DNO. You can see the trend line is putting up in here, right? If you have not joined, you would not seen the big benefits that we have. Okay, we have Fufu Lai, who is also retired. Join us, right? Abu, I think you're our member too, right? Abu, just type inside there if you're a member or not, right? And your profession, if you're in the public. My first priority is to give my members in here. We got James, okay, Penta. Yeah, Penta is nice, but take note, every time when the trend line hit the top sector, if you extend this, it's going to pull back a bit more, okay? When you hit that, it's going to pull back a bit more. You can see, right, every time you hit here, you'll pull back. Hit here, you'll pull back. And pull back to the center, just like what we saw. So this trend line, we design in such a way as make it so much easier. And we know where likely the market is going to be, okay? Okay, make sure I'll take care of all our members first, then we'll move on to some of the public in here. All right, so now we'll turn to some of the others, like the Fufu, which is from the public now, which is DuFu, okay? Now DuFu, if you look from here onwards, you can see the trend line setting is already starting to move sideways already, okay? Trend line started to move sideways in here. You got red Pentagon, so generally sideways to a little bit of distribution in here, and just look for the breakback to 470. So you got this two range here, breakdown, which is the ATR stop loss, this level in here, and the breakup that will determine the trend going to go up. It can go both ways, all right? It can go both ways. Okay, we have holding some PBV share for some time. Okay, let's take a look at public bank in here, okay? And I'm going to give you my prognosis. I have public bank also. I sold already early on. So you look from public bank here going down, isn't it? Right. One thing. And then also, let me just bring out the yeah. Okay. You lock in here. All right. And you tell me. Okay. Submarine trade. Jual nasi lemak. Yeah, that's right. Lahi. We'll talk about Sengkong after this. Okay, very nice one in here. I know you email me to the Telegram chat room. Now, if you look in here, this is again one of the tools that you will get as part of our members in here. Just type in public bank PB, and you can see public bank in here, and you submit. All right. Now we don't want to look. Now why the reason why I show you this one in here is to give you two scenario of looking at things, okay? Two scenario way of looking at things. Right now in the shorter term, looking back the last 6 months, you can see trends are definitely down, pulling back in here, and this is a daily chart, right? It does look like our earnings is coming up, okay? Earnings should be this evening, and if the earnings is so-so, the market is going to pull back up in here. It's not going to go to zero, that's for sure, all right? But if you look back on the longer term, just look at here. Now, why I say this, that the year that it make money was 2020, 2009 was 23%, 18%, 5% in here. And if you look back, the yearly return definitely had tapered off, all right? So right now it's about 3.75%, okay? Now, maybe you give it a bit more, you can get 8-10%. So that's the kind of return you're seeing from public bank. But right now, if you can see from here, you got September, October, November, and December. 4 months that I feel there is likelihood for the market to recover. Now, if you look back generally, what are the months for public bank that is bullish? Okay, Yiming, please type inside your answers here. Okay, you can see from here. Look at September, look at October. And now, if you're a masterclass member, you have this. Check it out, okay? So this is the same time where I do a bit of training of my members too, and some of the public could see this. You let me know, okay? Okay. So this is important. You can see this. The grand overall grand total is only 14.29%. Now, if you look at, I'll give you another example, D and O. Okay. Now D and O, you look back. Now it's not a full 5 years kind of deal, right? You can see D and O is giving 350% return with a yearly return of 50%. So DNO is already moved up to 99. Last year 129. So I think DNO already overextended by just using the seasonally return in here. I wouldn't add more on DNO. I go and buy something else that they have. So you can see how good these tools that we have in our Trade VSA Pro deck is that helps you in here. It's pretty much what fund managers does it in here. So we develop these tools in mind that many of you are managing your own funds, and you can see, just either it makes sense or don't make sense. What do you think of these tools? Okay. So do let me know what you think of in here. All right, now let's move on to the other share that we have is Sengkao. Okay. Sengkao, I think it's a plantation, right? Now if we look from here, Sengkao, I think it's going to move up in here. Very nice one. We know it's a submarine rocket trade, which is we talked about last Saturday. That's right in here, right? Now, look back to, this high in here. Trend is coming down, you can see, right? Then the submarine took off, right? This is like the submarine head here. Now it's like a blue rocket ship going up in here. Okay, this is a nice one in here. I do think that eventually the plantation stocks will move up. All right. Okay, let's move on to other stocks that you all have for me. Okay, we got on the other side UI here. And do let me know, Ui, are you a masterclass member? Are you or not? Okay. Abu, you haven't replied me yet. Oh, yeah, masterclass member. Sure, Abu. It's just that so many names, and we do hope eventually we can meet back up together, Abu. Okay, hibiscus. Let's look at hibiscus. Okay, hibiscus, petroleum. Hibiscus still downtrend, hibiscus, okay? And always go back to here, right? If you intend to hold longer term. If you intend to hold longer term, just switch on to hibiscus here. Right, and check out what is hibiscus kind of return they're giving you. Hibiscus is not bad if you think of it. It's 200% return over how many years? 2016. So still can make money. All right, and yearly return is 37%. Now, if you look back, 37, this is 12%. So my take is that there's still got a bit more room to go. Provided, if and only we see recovery in all prices, that will translate to reopening of the economy. Now, with the Delta variant, a lot of things being pushed into January. I think some of the big companies like Facebook, Google, Suma reopen in January next year, or the earliest will be the fall. The fall we are talking about is September, October. So no rush, as I said before, to get into hibiscus, but if you do have it, just plan accordingly, my friend. You can see hibiscus already broke through ATR stop loss, and let me know what you think. Okay, and the earnings will be coming up, or you want to try for the earnings date, then do the earnings date right? Okay, let's go through the couple men. Now, Yang has been, Yang has been following us for some time. Yang Chi Seng, Elsoft, a businessman, so no problem. Let's take a look at it too. Elsoft is good. You can see the trend is trending up. So this is definitely one of all the tech stocks are doing well. Let's put it that way, okay? MTAG. Okay, MTAG started to, again, it came down from what we call a really down level in here, but looking very nice. This one is very nice. You can see low volume here. Just need for this breakout. The trend is definitely down, but it's starting to turn. You can see it's starting to turn, right? So the trend plotter is showing you it's starting to turn, and it broke through this first level, the 63.5 cents. Definitely you want to take out the 65 cents for some chance of moving higher in here. Okay, so Yang, I hope to see you in our weekend masterclass, okay? That's right. Thank you for your support. All right, then we are able to serve you better and let you know what are the great opportunity that we have. This weekend is our masterclass. So join us. We still have a few more seats. We'll reserve one for you. Businessman, right? You're the businessman. Then you know where is the likelihood opportunity is going to be with us. Okay, we got another one. All right, GUH. GUH is good, very nice one. Green Pentagon in here all the way, right? No problem. Now this one, just be careful as you go higher, right? There's a little bit of profit taking. Trends are certainly up in here. And I think the next level, if you look here, 70 cents, you'll see some little bit of profit taking. So do this projection in here. I think what we intend to do is we're going to get many of our members to try out this trend plotter in here. We just need to sort out the logistics. So if you have registered for our masterclass this Friday when we start, so next week I think we'll let Zach know to roll this out and give us your comment. What do you think how this thing will perform too? All right, so we will stop here. As I said before, do subscribe to our YouTube channel or spread it around, share with others for all our breakfast show that we do here, which is archive and bringing you many great information in here. And not to forget, right, find a system that works for you. If you have not been making a reasonable portfolio in here, look back at your system. Is your system listening here, listening there? Don't cut loss, relying on emotion. Has that worked for you? Right? Think about that. If not, find one that works. Definitely our master class is definitely where we provide a mentor, and we have our Telegram chat room to really support you. At the end, we either grow by changing our way of looking, or we simply just perish like many of those who did not do so well, and somehow the portfolio just keeps sinking. You know what I mean, all right? So also join our Telegram chat room for all our free stock market information, and I'll see you on Wednesday morning, and then we go on to talk about the China market, Hong Kong market, and there's a lot of what we call bottom fishing opportunity in the Chinese market in here. So we're going to talk more about that on Wednesday night. See you then. Bye bye.